Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Anarchy Analysis full game cast between G2 and Rogue. This is a very important matchup, considered the match of the week here in the LEC. This is a do or die matchup for both teams to consider who is the best team in Europe, and obviously these two teams are sitting at the top of the table. One team is behind by a singular win, that is G2. Rogue are slightly above them by one win, and if G2 win this, they go in with a tie to Rogue and own that head-to-head. Nonetheless, let's look at these two teams as a whole. Coming into this year, G2 have picked up Reckless, and that has kind of steadied this roster, making them look very phenomenal. As for Rogue, bringing in Odo and Trimby has honestly made this roster considerably better. When I say that, I mean Odo provides a lot of leadership. He is that guy that's making this Rogue roster perform at a top level and keep rising in terms of skill. They've always had good mid laners, with Larson in that mid lane this year being one of the standout performers in the LEC, currently sitting first with most of his stats. Kill participation, he is the highest scoring mid. CSD at 15, he is the highest scoring, and he has probably had the most jungle presence in the game. And that is a very big reason as to why Rogue are winning, as they're investing a lot into him. Odo is playing a strong wheat side game, and as well as that, Inspired is just getting pop-off performances. Now, coming into this matchup, I'm honestly on the fence as to who wins, because this matchup on paper is incredibly close. Both teams have a lot of strengths. Both teams have struggled over the previous 2 weekends, with G2 dropping 2 games, one to Schalke and then the other to Fnatic, whereas Rogue also dropped a game to Schalke, but that's their only loss right now. And if G2 win here, everything's tied up as said earlier, and I'm looking forward to this draft when we get into it, because obviously G2 and Rogue like very explosive drafts, and as Champion Select grows ever closer, there's a lot to do as the countdown begins for our match of the week for the LEC. Let's get into this. With that hype music, we go into something a bit more chilling and relaxing to settle the nerves. Senna immediately removed from the field by Rogue, a pick that Reckless has gone towards quite a lot recently with that Kraken Slayer Rageblade build, proccing a lot of critical hits. So it is nice to see it removed and Rogue realizing what G2 like to go towards. Alongside that, the Kaiser gets removed from the field, a first pick option for Rogue, something Hans Sammer has gone towards incredibly a lot this year. It's one of his strongest performers. Thresh, Rise and Udyr also joining on the bans, and that is a lot of target bans towards the bot lane so far. 3 by either team, and then 2 roaming mid lane picks banned by either team. G2 removing that TF, meaning Larson does not get that free roam option like Caps likes one and wants to do in this game. But with these picks coming through and being on 11.3, Pantheon and Olaf dropping down in priority on this patch with the Gore Drinker nerfs, as well as the clear rate and jungle nerfs. On top of this, we were probably going to see something like a Nidalee or a Taliyah as picks coming in for G2, but as a whole, these two junglers are considered the best And looking through at the picks so far, Lilia coming through, 4 inspired, come back into the meta, I feel, because of the nerfs to everything else. And on this patch, a lot of junglers want to go for these farm-heavy picks to scale up into the late game and be a very competitive threat. Now, G2's side of things, they lock in their entire bot lane, Rel and Jhin. I like this pick up here early of the Rel for G2, as you kind of nullify the effectiveness of Rogue going for a tankier support that can go for engage. So you probably are going to see maybe an Enchanter support for Rogue here, or something not as tanky, as Rel would just remove so many stats. I remember Medic talking about this earlier this week, where he was saying it's like 450 gold's worth of stats removed by Rel when she hits you, and that is a big thing to note, which with a Jhin paired alongside it, who can pop out so much damage in that late game and be that monster. It's nice to see the Rel pick up for G2, especially with a Jhin that's going to be pumping out a lot of damage. Rogue side things to finish their round 1 ban picks, they go Gragas and Renekton, and Nidalee picked up for G2. Now, looking at these bans for the second phase, we'll probably see a few more targets towards the mid lane, as well as Rogue banning out some top lane picks here, because Wunder more than likely will look to dominate there and go for a counter pick in the first pick of this second phase. So G2 probably going to look to get 2 counter picks here, one of their top, and then obviously save last pick for mid, and that will just allow them a lot of pressure on this map. And more than likely Jankos will be playing for his solo lanes this game and leave Mickey and Jhin on that little island and keep themselves alive. Bans coming in through the second phase, Kalista and Nah from either team. This is nice from G2, as they're removing these aggressive picks Hans Sama likes to go towards. There is still, however, Desire left open, which I would be expecting to be locked in for Hans Sama if it's left up. Else, there isn't realistically anything to meta, maybe even the MF. But there's Solution Ban. That's a target towards Larson as well as Hans Sama technically. Larson has actually played this pick a lot this year so far, and has got pretty much a unbeaten record on it this year. I think he dropped 1 game on it to Schalke, but even then, he's been very strong in this and bullying lane, and that is something G2 do not want. They want to get Caps roaming and affecting the map as much as possible. Last ban coming in is that Volibear, something that decimated G2 in their Fnatic matchup, so removing that from the board is huge for Rogue, as they don't want Wunder doing to them what Bwipo did to Wunder. Picks left open here, I probably expect the Quinn into the Renekton. That's kind of a hard counter for Wunder here, and this is very, very strong. Just using the range advantage that you get with the Quinn to just harass down the Renekton from long range and make it very hard for the Renekton to actually CS without facing a lot of damage coming in from that Quinn. And looking at the board so far, with an AP jungler on the side of G2, this Quinn is going to have even more effectiveness when it comes to ganks, and expect possibilities of G2 playing around top lane in this game and possibly looking to split push with that Quinn. Now, Rogue decided to go in with the Azir, and what are they going to go for their ADC? MF is open, Ashe technically is open, Ezreal, which has risen to prevalence in the LCS this year, where it hasn't in other regions, and what is it going to be? It's the Riven! Riven? Vayne! Oh, that is a nice pick. But the issue with it is it's very, very hard to get going. You need to realistically get 2 items for this pick to be online and very, very effective in the team fights going into the later game. But when you see an Echo locked in for Caps, G2 are going to be looking to dive on top of that Azir and Vayne and pop them before they get going in team fights. But looking at G2's squad, there isn't too much strength as to the late game other than looking to split push and get going that way. Because you look at the Quinn, you look at the Echo, they both want to split push, go 1-3-1 and basically force Rogue to respond, then G2 get objectives and pressurize the map. But as I say, these two squads look very strong. I still favour the G2 squad with the dive potential they have. But as we come into the game, Rogue have the less error placement because they can do whatever. And it's now time for G2 versus Rogue. And onto Summoner's Rift we go for this matchup between the top two teams in the LEC. Match of the week here, and I'm looking forward to these starts because this should be G2 looking to play early and get very, very bloody with this lineup. As Jankos pathing towards the mid lane, that spear, ooh, narrowly missing Larson. Now, let's take our lovely little ruin check-in for either team. Anything that realistically stands out, I guess I will talk about the Azir going Electrocute instead of the Lethal Tempo or Comet build, looking to go a bit more damage heavy into teamfights instead of the attack speed heavy build that you see with Lethal Tempo. And Lethal Tempo build just very hard to deal with when you get that massive Emperor's Divide in teamfights, as he can just go with them sand soldiers into you and just threaten the amount of damage onto you with them without realistically doing too much. And as I say that, looking in the mid lane right now, the Azir already establishing control, forcing Caps to basically have to use his Q in order to get CS here. And that means that he isn't able to get too much. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Inspire going for that trademark Lilia Raptor steal, literally level 2. And obviously, Jankos went up to Krugs before taking his Raptors, means he's going to eventually walk down, see that they're missing, walk over a ward for Rogue, and they know where Jankos is, and it's easier for Inspire to come in, go to his blue, and then go to whichever scuttle he wants. Possibility of probably contesting that bot lane one when Jankos goes down there, because obviously they know he's on that bottom half of the map, and Inspired could, in theory, take both skulls in this game. It's going to be down to Jankos outplaying in order for something to happen. Meanwhile, topside, we look in here at the Quinn getting pushed in onto Odo's Renekton, and that CS gap already above 10 CS in that top lane is huge. Meanwhile, Caps is kind of keeping it a little bit closer in the mid lane. Still, though, there is a CS disadvantage for him. Meanwhile, bot side, fairly even, and we haven't realistically talked about this Vayne just yet, as we may see a possible skirmish here between the two junglers, as the Swole Seed is going to land Dezaku from the Lilia, chunking down Jankos, forcing him to jump over the wall to safety. And Inspired could possibly get both skulls here. He's going to force Jankos to maybe come down. Spear is narrowly going to miss, but Echo is here as well. On the ward, going to clear that out. And G2 force Inspired off of the scuttle, but because Rogue's bot lane has pressure established, they can basically get this Skull Crab for free if they want to. Meanwhile, Inspired just going to take them Raptors on respawn and then go take his Scuttle finally, which is nice. Meanwhile, Jankos is going to trade it. He actually plays this very smart. He knows he's not going to have any pressure in that bot lane, But because his top lane has push, Caps has basically evened out the wave mid and can pretty much respond to any sort of play in that lane. Jankos gets to go top scuttle and get that for himself, keeping it fairly close, I would say. Obviously, Lilia has probably one of the best clears in the early game, but right now, it's fairly even between the two teams. Now, as we could possibly see a dive here in the bot lane, Rel hovering around this turret, but Lilia forcing Reckless back, and that's going to be a turret play over to Hans Sama, pushing back G2 under their turret, and there we go. Now, let us actually focus in on these bot lanes. Vayne versus Jhin. Vayne coming into the lane right now with Buttes 2, the Berserker Greaves, upgraded. Meanwhile, Reckless just farming up a little bit more, still on his base Doran's Blade. And as I say, this bot lane's a fairly interesting one. Vayne is an interesting pick. She has got Press the Attack, where she's going to be looking to play it. Meanwhile, Emperor's Divide is going to push Caps on the turret, but he's going to trade it with the Chrono Break. As bottle side, we could see a fight. Rel's going to dive in, force a flash out of that Gragas. And here we go. Oh, lovely stun coming out from that. Rel getting the trade kills as Reckless picks up the second blood to Hans Sama's first blood on the Rel. But that, in my opinion, is favourable to G2 as he gets the entire wave. And here comes 2 waves into the turret. The CS dying. And we watch this again. Basically, Body Slam gets used early. Means that the Aftershock gets procced. No safety on that Gragas. Meaning the Smashdown from the Rel lands. And he's going to use that Q and lovely Attract Repel. Stunning Hans Sama in place. Takes that 4th shot. And down he goes. Meanwhile, the wave comes in and the CS advantage has grown to about 17 in favour of Reckless. And look at the items in that bot lane. Berserker Greaves to Swifties and a pickaxe. That's a big difference in terms of items. Yes, Hans Sama does have that extra long blade, but it's not the same as a pickaxe. It's so much extra gold on Reckless's side of things here as mid side. Trimby looking to try and freeze the wave for his mid laner means that Echo cannot get any pressure onto the map, and it's going to try and force Caps to actually have to step closer into the wave and take unfavourable trades in favour of Larssen here. And that overall is very good for Rogue in terms of mid lane pressure. But as for G2, they're going to feel very comfortable right now. And it's good for them as Jankos looks to get a bit of damage in. And as I was saying, look at these stats between the mid laners. You're either first or fifth in this matchup. Damage per minute, Caps gets the most out of his champions in comparison to Larssen. But look at the CSD and gold difference at 15 minutes. Caps, while is always up in his games, it's still Larssen ahead by a lot against his opponents. And this game, 8 minutes in, his CSD is up and the gold difference is more than likely up right now. And that is a big thing, as actually Caps is going to try and even out the CS here. Though Larssen will be able to pick up the wave. And let's go look at the bot side yet again. We didn't get to finish our talk about this Vayne, and she has got that Press the Attack. Probably going to go Noon Quiver into Kraken Slayer build, because you use them Silver Bolts. Obviously you take 3 shots with them as inspired. Jankos actually just smites away the blue buff there, stopping Caps from getting that buff. And that's going to be harder for Caps to lane anymore, as the explosive cast is going to land in the bot lane. Not going to be enough to bring Reckless into him, as mid-side Larssen taking a lot of damage into Caps, He's going to pop that corrupting potion. But Caps takes a bit too much damage there. As Rogue going to secure this dragon. G2 can't contest with Caps being so low. And in fact, Caps is playing very greedy here. Obviously, he has that chrono break to get a bit of HP back. But he took a very large amount of damage there. Going to be forced to back. Doesn't have TP. So Larson going to get the push in mid. As well as the next wave for himself. And Caps probably going to lose that under the turret. Meanwhile, top side, that's going to be Renekton coming in with the ultimate. Going to probably force out Wonder flashing. There we go. Odo Womnate does not pop his flash to try and chase him down with the slice and dice. But it doesn't matter. Wonder has not got flash or cleanse. That is big. And it means that Inspired can be looking to come up to this top side of the map and actually get the possibility of a kill onto a Quinn who wants to be split pushing. So realistically, this is huge, as Renekton, all he burnt was his Dominus and got a flash out for it. He's probably gonna TP back when that comes back off cooldown. It's actually really close, probably about 5 seconds right now. Meanwhile, mid, stun not going to be landing from Caps' E, and he's able to just get a lot of damage down. In fact, that's a lot of damage onto Caps. Look how close he has to step into this wave, and the Sand Soldiers just chunk him very low. Meanwhile, we're coming up for the Herald. Both supports are here. Reldo, I would say, is will win that matchup into the Great Argus. And Azir, he's also posturing up. Meanwhile, Reckless has actually pathed up here as well. This should be G2's Herald, as Hans Sama just going to stay in the bot lane, get as much turret plating as he can before G2 respond with the Herald dropping onto them plates. And Hans is going to get a bit closer in terms of CS now to Reckless. So there's not much lost here for G2 because they're able to get this Herald. And Reckless still has a CS advantage. So realistically, this is a favourable trade for G2 still. Even if Hans Sama is picking up turret plates. Meanwhile, mid, Emperor's Vide's going to land. That's a body slam combination. That's going to force the Chrono Break out for Caps. But here is Wonder. Explosive Cast going to knock back Caps. But it will not be enough. And the mid laner for G2 walks away. Top side though. Jankos is coming up. Here's the curtain call opening up. 1 shot miss. 2 shots hit. 3rd shot hits. 4th shot hit. And here comes Odo trying to run down at Reckless, but Dominus is going to be popped. Herald is going to charge, stunning up Odo, and that is just an easy turret kill for G2. That's going to be turret over to G2 on top of that, as well as a kill onto Odo. And kill credit goes over to Reckless in that one. And Quinn, however, gets the turret first blood. Meanwhile, bot side, Hans Sama and Trimby gonna pick up turret for themselves and try and keep this a fairly even matchup. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting, as G2 now have full control of that top lane, meaning Jankos can just invade into jungle, take away the blue buff and the wolf camp. He's going to try and even out the CS, as Inspired is coming up here. Possibly could contest. Going to see with that Swirl Seed that the wolves are gone. And G2 walk away with pretty much everything in the top side. Meanwhile, Wonder taking away Jankos' wolves. God, I hate it when top laners do that and steal away jungler camps. It's just not fair. You hear people complaining about supports don't get enough. Meanwhile, we could see a play here as Hans Sama's caught in the pit. That's Wonder diving in. Rel is there, going to force the flash out from Hans Sama. Meanwhile, Trimby going to try and put a bit of pressure and poke, but that still doesn't get much. And as such, Hans Sama is now flashless, and G2 more than likely are going to get this Ocean Drake for themselves, as Hans Sama will be pretty open in terms of a dive for G2. That being said, Jankos is topside. Odo could possibly be dove as the spear is going to land. There's the leap in. There's a slice. There's a Q from the Quinn coming through. That's a lot of damage. He is blinded. Dominus will not save him. And G2 pick up a third kill in the map. And they're continuing to put pressure onto this map as well. As Reckless Caps. And that's the flash forward coming in from Caps. That is going to be the Q. Boom. Bam. Bop. Caps picks up a kill for himself. And lovely setup by the Deadly Flourish from Jin to just stun him in place. Obviously, Hansama had no flash, and Caps realised this, burnt his own, just went in, got a free and easy kill, and there we go. The only issue is G2 give up that Ocean Drake, which would have realistically been them as we watch this again. Parallel convergence dropped by Caps, forcing Hansama away, but he comes forward, flash, Q, E, pop, execute, electrocute pops, and there's just the Q coming in from Caps to execute him off after the Deadly Flourish stunned Hansama in place. Pretty clean kill there for G2. And as we take a look at the 15-minute mark at the gold, very, very favourable for G2. 3k up on Rogue here. And Larsen's gold difference of 15 versus other mid laners might be a little bit different now, thanks to Caps being ahead of him in this game. And it's actually very interesting to say that, as look at the CSDs between the two mid laners, considering the fact Azir had such good pressure in the early game against Caps. It means not much now when they've evened out the CS. And Caps now has a kill for himself. And we look at the items on board for each team. The mythics are coming in. 2 Gale Forces on the side of G2 and 2 Night Harvesters. Supports have not got theirs yet, but on the Rogue side of things, it's actually very interesting. You have Moonstone Renewer, Lilia build. That's kind of okay, I guess. Going to be a very cheap build in my opinion. Makes a lot of sense to provide a bit of sustain to these tankier members on the Rogue side of things. Plus you do have a Liandry's user already with Azir, who's going to be using them Sand Soldiers to pop the burn effect, which is a very easy thing to do as an Azir, as he just is able to push with the lane. So it makes sense to go towards this build. I know he could in theory go Night Harvester, but you have to realise this. G2 side of things, it's very easy for them to just pop the Lilia. They've got a ton of damage in comparison to actual tankier members. So it's very easy to just put the Lilia in a bad situation. Wunder jumps at her, just stuns her up with the tumble. It's not even a tumble, it's the E that knocks them back. That's the Lilia not being able to fight, even if the Night Harvester provides the movement speed to get in and do work, which I would have honestly may have preferred. But right now, Moonstone Renewer is the cheaper of the two builds and does provide a bit of an easier time to get towards that Zhonya's, which will be the second item for Inspired here. Rest of the items though, we got the Prowler's Claws, Honda Renekton not going to Gore Drinker, which is not a surprise with the nerfs coming through to it in this patch. So go for a bit more damage instead of healing and sustain. Meanwhile, top side, we could see a player as Quinn not going to jump in onto Odo there. So G2 instead force away the Crocodile, get themselves a Rift Herald. And where will we see that dropped? Honestly, I'd be looking towards maybe the bot side, as that is a free play. As look at the Quinn soaring through the jungle. It's just very hard for Rogue to actually get in and contest vision here, as G2 just have so much movement and actual damage. It's very hard for them to get anywhere near this, and it's very hard to do much. Quinn has basically a vision spell that just reveals the area. It's hard to contest that, and as such, Rogue are giving up a lot of pressure on the map because of it. Hence why topside has been attacked heavily by G2, as they know that they can essentially get free vision, control the top half of the map and jungle, get all the camps in that side and keep an advantage. That is why G2 are very strong in this game, as they just control the map perfectly with their champions. Meanwhile, mid, we could possibly see a fight as G2 grouped as 5 coming to contest this Mountain Drake. Obviously, they don't want to allow the third Drake over to Rogue here. And that will possibly be lights out if G2 give over Soul in this game, as we are going to see Azir kill the top lane tier 1. He's going to continue pushing. He does have TP. And G2 are essentially trading topside pressure and 2 turrets maybe for that Mountain Drake that stops the essential Soul going through to Rogue. But obviously, bot side though, Wunder picks up that bot lane tier 1. And we still have the Herald in the pockets of G2. What could we see from these two teams now, as more than likely, as the Soul gets closer and closer for either lineup, we could in theory see a fight for the Baron, which has spawned on the map 45 seconds ago. That being said, Wunder, Rel is here as well. Gonna dive headfirst into the Vayne, gonna force flash out immediately. Curtain Call is opened up. Gragas just blocking all them shots and taken very low. But G2 only invest one ultimate and then the Quinn running at the Hans Sama for the flash out of Hans Sama. That is huge if you're G2, as that means that Vayne does not have that repositioning tool, does not have any safety in terms of spells, and can in theory just be dove and killed off. Very nicely done by G2. Now, looking at the supports right now, finally, the Turbo Chem Tank picked up for Mickey on his Rel. Gonna be looking to zoom and vroom through the Rogue backline as trading coming in from Odo. Gonna pop the Dominus. Gonna just force Wunder to walk away with that movement speed. As topside Caps looking to dive onto Hans Sama. He has not got any flash. Electrocute's gonna pop Detractor Repel as well. And that is gonna be a dead Hans Sama. Gonna use a Chrono Break to get away. Looting Lullaby is available for Inspire, but he doesn't care. There's a second Attract Repel. Explosive Cast is gonna force Caps away, and he's almost certainly dead. The Emperor's Divide just pushes him away from his team and safety. And that was almost a double kill over to Caps. Meanwhile, G2 gonna drop the Herald mid. Looking to get the pressure onto the map still. It is 4v4. Main carry for Rogue is dead. And G2 have the pressure on the map. Even with Caps dead, we can watch this again. Essentially, G2 do see Hans Sama. He spots him, dives at the wall, hits the E, boom. Damage from the Q and the W combined just means that Caps bursts him down very easily, gets over close to the wall, allows Nidalee to heal him up, get a bit more damage down. Lovely stopwatch though from Inspired, timed perfectly with the cask by Gragas to make sure Caps does not get any closer to that little fall, and a trader kills there between Rogue and G2. Overall, that favours Rogue in my opinion, because that gives over some gold to the mid laner of Rogue, as Larson has got that CS advantage already. Gonna be building up his third item here, has that Void Staff and Liandry's, in comparison to Caps's Lichbane and his Night Harvester. And that Night Harvester proved very powerful in that last fight, allowing him to get the speed to catch up to Hans Sama and not allow him to escape. But as we look across the board at what was blown in that last fight, Flash is burnt by Caps, Larson, and Inspired. Meanwhile, Rogue and G2 still have pretty much all their ultimates ready and round to go. Caps possibly could look to dive here with Jankos hovering around for a spear. Meanwhile, Inspired picks up that Zhonya's. Means he's going to be able to survive a bit longer in them fights. Means that on top of that, G2 possibly are going to have to look to retarget in fights and not have the same focus they want to. And in theory, Inspired can look to steal away the objectives as he has that safety tool. That being said, we could see a fight here as G2 collapsing on all angles. Inspired is caught out. Gonna not get to use the Lullaby as Wonder is taken very low and dive comes through. Curtain Call's gonna pick up one kill in this fight. But meanwhile on the backside, Overwhelmnate is chasing down Reckless. Got him stunned up. The turret shots aren't doing enough damage and that is gonna be Reckless' drop. No! Nidalee Heal keeping Reckless alive. And that means that the 2 for 2 there for Rogue means that they can go towards this Drake as there is not enough pressure for G2. They lost Death, Engage and Caps who just will look to dive. Meanwhile, they still have their jungler G2 and Rogue do not. So this should be a very even fight here if these two teams go for it. But Rogue give up this Drake and Jankos gonna smite that away for G2. And the Drakes are now all tied up. What an amazing fight we just saw. As Odo narrowly does not kill Reckless. And as a whole, Reckless got very lucky there from having Jankos nearby to provide that heal and keep him alive. But the map state right now still favors G2. Meanwhile, TP coming in for Rogue. They know that Mickey is behind him. Blue Trinket's going to spot him. Here comes Larson, going to look to kill him off. But oh my days, that is an amazing Emperor's Vibe. And the Blast Cone pop means that Mickey is in trouble. Body Slam lands. That's just Mickey maybe dying. The cask. Oh. Pop the cask. Throw him back into your team, baby, because that secures a kill over to Rogue. And that means G2 giving up a lot of kills right now in this game. They're playing a bit more sloppy, but we watched this again. Essentially, Wonder waiting from behind. Inspired walks away, no flash on the fall, just gets popped low. Hourglass keeps him alive, but the Magnet Storm just pulls in Larson, but he's just able to kill off the Rel. As we watch this, Jankos and Reckless keeping themselves alive, and Odo's just unable to get the last shot to kill Reckless there. Big fight there, and both teams take it evenly. This is the part of the game where the two teams fight on an even ground, and we can look at the items coming through. Both ADCs are on 3 items. Collector, IE, and Gale Force on the Reckless's Jhin. Meanwhile, the Vayne has the Kraken Slayer, Infinity Edge, and Phantom Dancer. Looking for a bit more attack speed though onto that Vayne as well. So 3 item Vayne, in my opinion, is slightly stronger than this Jhin right now. Even though Jhin has the Collector, looking to execute targets off. As Wonder, he might have caught out Larson, gonna jump straight in, gonna pop that magic shield and continue forwards. Flash forward! Shuts him down, and here comes the engage from G2. Caps just diving in. Little Ting Lullaby's going to put him to sleep though, but G2 coming forward. That's Quinn picking up a double kill in this fight, and what can Rogue get from this? Absolutely nothing. G2 pick up 2, and are looking to turn towards that Baron and burn it down. They've got the Quinn. They have also got the Jhin. They've got a lot of attack speed and attack damage here, and they're more than likely going to burn this down quickly. Rogue aren't coming towards this. They've given this up, and G2 pick up the Baron, and the Baron play starts right now. As we watch this fight again, essentially, Larson is seen on the ward, and Wonder just pop, flash forward, pop. He's dead. Caps then dives forward, attract repel from Rel pops, stunning up, and killing off the Lilia. Just a lot of perfect CC out from G2 there to just secure themselves the double kill for Wunder. And we haven't actually talked much about Wunder in this game, but he too is on 3 items. Gale Force, IE, and Storm Razor. That's a lot of crit damage, and he is more than likely going to pop targets in them one-shots. Meanwhile, we could see a fight here as Caps diving forward again. Deadly Flourish is going to go wide, and Odo is going to manage to walk away. But the Baron, though, being used by G2, forcing back Rogue. Caps continue to walk forward. Deadly Flourish is going to land, but that is a lovely Emperor's Divide. Going to force Caps back with that Chrono Break. But Wunder is here. The shots landing onto Hans Sama. Taken low. He's not going to be able to survive or stay around for this turret. G2 could, in theory, get this for themselves. Continuing forward. Wunder looking to pressure down. Walking forward. Shot after shot after shot. Going to land. Deadly Flourish is also going to land. Shot keeps on landing from that curtain call. And G2 using their basically harassment to get that inhib turret. And the funny thing is, Wunder playing a carry is just playing very aggressive. He's able to keep walking forward and doing work, and he's hovering around behind Rogue here. Could in theory dive them. But Caps continue forward onto Trimby. And that's interesting to note. Wunder is just in a very strong state right now. And Rogue aren't punishing him for his aggressive plays, as Mountain Drake should go over to G2 here for free. And I'm surprised this game is going like this. We hyped up Rogue and G2 as a very fun, very explosive top of the table clash. Rogue wanted to be able to beat G2 to show they deserve to be at the top of the table. Meanwhile, G2 looking to bounce back from struggles against teams. And right now, they're showcasing their strength. Playing a split push style that we don't see too much in the current meta, because split pushing basically gives away a lot of control, as bot side Reckless could be caught out here. Dominus is going to pop, but Gale Force keeps Reckless alive. Rel could in theory dive in with a Magnet Storm, but Caps looking again to dive in. Going to use the Night Harvester to get a bit of movement speed. But here is Wunder. Lovely body slam though onto Wunder. Means that he's not able to get the kill. Never mind, he picks that one. Magnet Storm's going to land, but that doesn't matter, as the Emperor's Divide is going to push over Durrell into the fight. Over the wall into the safety. But here comes the snipe from Reckless. Mr. EU just absolutely sniped away the health bar of Gragas. And that fight looked so good for Rogue. They picked off the Quinn and the Rel, who overstepped. Meanwhile, Caps could possibly be killed off here. Hansama, Larson chasing forward. Odo's there as well. But here comes Hansama. One shot lands, 2 shots, 3 shots. But that's the stopwatch burnt by Hansama. Going to be able to dodge with the tumble, but that is nearly caught out. Going to be hit, taken low. Flash burnt by Yankos, and he's able to get away. Just leaping away. There's going to be the slice ready for Odo. Going to stun him up either way, and there's a shutdown over to Larson. And that is big for Rogue as we watch this again. Essentially, G2 go way too deep here. Gragas, lovely body slam. Cask as well, just stuns in place. Wunder, yes, gets a kill onto Trimby, but look at that Emperor's Divide. Popping them over the wall, forcing Caps away, and Mickey just is dead. But that shot from Reckless kind of saves the fight for G2 from absolute despair. But they still end up losing Yankos at the end of that, and that is a 3-for-2 in favour of Rogue. That's not good if you're G2, because you're letting Rogue back into this game. And item-wise, that's huge. Look at the bot lane. Both ADCs, 4 items in. GA on Vayne picked up as their new item. Scimitar picked up for Jin to keep himself safe with that extra QSS. And that as a whole is a big thing to note, as the Baron is up in 30 seconds and 2 minutes left until Mountain Soul if G2 want it. So we're going to be seeing a couple more fights, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm looking forward to it. Rogue, however, gonna need to try and wrestle back control of the map. They've given up a lot of pressure due to G2's split push, and as such, they're now having to take the time, invest the vision, and get themselves some pressure. Meanwhile, Wunder soaring down to the bot lane, looking to kill off Odo. Gonna dive in, pop, pop, shots coming in, that's Dominus popped, and that's just a dead Renekton. And Larson coming in. He's looking to kill off Caps here. That's the Sand Soldiers doing a lot of work. The electrocute will not be enough for Caps to do anything. Stopwatch just has to be popped. And this is almost certainly going to be him falling. Meanwhile, G2 have turned towards the Baron. They're looking to burn this one down. They're definitely getting that, and it's uncontested, ladies and gentlemen. They invested so many members down to chase down Caps and Wunder. But that just means that they get the free Baron Cap. Yankos, Mickey, and Reckless just burn that one down. But Rogue, looking to get some Barons off of G2 here, is Larson. He's the Fed member of Rogue. Mega Empress Vide. Just pops. Wunder. Shut down. Goes over to Hans Sammer. And G2 are now 2 Barons down. But 10 seconds until Mountain Soul, and that is definitely a 4v5 in favor of Rogue here, as Wunder will be respawning in 35 seconds, but G2 give it up. They know this isn't going to happen. Meanwhile, G2 TPing into the bot side of the map for Caps. He's looking to push in to get that top lane tier. Well, 3 gonna get this one for himself. Meanwhile, Odo Amne gonna force him away. Chrono Break just means that he is unable to chase him down. But G2 looking to get in behind Rogue, get the inhibs, but Rogue playing fully aware of this, even up the Drake count and make this a very competitive game. Something that we weren't expecting, as Baron will be close to timing out soon. G2 haven't got much, but Rogue, they're coming online right now. Late game Rogue is very hard to deal with. Larson is on a killing spree right now, and he is looking for more blood. But as I say that, we're getting ready for the next fight, as it is also a 6-1-3 Azir versus a 2-3-4 Echo. Itemization wise, Larson is ahead by so much in terms of the gold that he's gained. And we did discuss earlier in the game that he gets so much of an advantage in terms of gold and itemization. In the early game, it's very easy for him to do work. Now, Hans Sammer, hit by the stun of the Echo, gonna just force himself back a bit. But G2 need to burn at some cool, big key summoners here, I would honestly say, if they want to try and contest Rogue. Because Hans Sammer still has flash. He's going to be able to pump out a lot of damage in the next fight if he's left untouched. So try and get them flashes off of him. Try and get the other summoners off of the Lilia. They would be big. Obviously, Larson has not got his flash for the upcoming fight. And as such, G2 get to pressurize the map. Wunder just flying across the map. He doesn't have TP, but he doesn't care. He's just soaring across. He's pretty much just done a 10-second flight across the map to get to the bot side from the top side. And G2 going to push in this wave. They're going to look to split the map. Basically 4-1 right now. Wunder diving forward, forcing Odo low. Just diving in, firing damage shot after shot after shot. But that's going to force a Steris Gate proc from Wonder onto Odo. And that just means that is a 4v5 now in favour of G2, as Odo's forced back to the base to recover that HP loss. And this is a very hard situation, in my opinion, for Rogue to be able to deal with anything. Is G2 are just going to poke and prod across the map. They'll look to put damage down onto you, force you back to base, and then just push for an inhibitor in another lane while all of that's happening. That's essentially how G2 are trying to play this right now. And as a whole, there's one real win condition right now for Rogue. Either it's the Mountain Soul, get that, go for the base of G2, win a fight, and then win that way. Or essentially get a pick and then run it down mid, get the win that way. Basically, it involves a fight for Rogue, and Hans Sama being untouched. Same with Larson. They're able to just clean up G2 that way. But that's a hard thing to do, because G2 don't have to look for fights. They just have to put pressure on the map. And they're doing so with 15 seconds left until either the Baron or the Mountain Drake. Mountain Soul for either team. They're gonna be hard to contest as, lovely spear from Jankos onto Inspired. Gonna force him back to base with 30 seconds left until the Soul fight. And what's happening here? Larson versus Caps. Gonna catch out Emperor's Divide. Gonna force a Chrono Break out. That's an ult for ult, and that's favourable for G2. As Emperor's Divide will be removed, and that's no safety for Rogue there when it comes to this upcoming fight, as G2 just can easily dive in now onto the backline. Meanwhile, Larson just looking to force out Caps, and he's taken low. Meanwhile, G2 could look to contest here. Caps has gone back to base. Meanwhile, Wonder is in the base of Rogue, gonna look to take this inhibitor at least. Rogue taking down this Baron. Curtain Call's going to be opened up shot 1. Will not secure the Baron. But obviously G2 secure Mountain Soul with Jankos securing that for himself. But here comes Wonder. Going to be looking to fight here, but Larson possibly going to dissuade it with that Sand Soldier. But in my opinion, that's a bad trade in favour of Rogue, but they're going to keep going. Here comes G2 diving in. There's Magnet Storm going to land onto 2, and that is almost certainly a dead Gragas. Taken down low and immediately, but Mickey, he is isolated. G2 cannot get in. Lilting Lullaby is going to land. Cleanse is going to be popped by Wonder, but look at the damage out from Hans Sama. Flashing over the wall, just getting one, but that is going to be him resurrecting. But what can G2 do right now? Because Odo's going to dive into the backline, but there is the double kill over to Hans Sama, but Caps manages to pick that one up for himself. But what's gonna happen now as Rogue just managed to pick up a big teamfight win here? They're gonna look to try and get something across the map, but G2 played that smart beforehand. They set up the waves. It means that Rogue have to go back to base and clear them out. They've lost both inhibitors, mid and bot. And G2 somehow, I feel, have come out on top of this. As we watch this again, Mickey, Flash, Magnet Storm does a lot of work. But Trimby, MVP play right there. Body Slam, Cask, keeps away G2's carries from protecting their support. Cleanse had to be used by Wonder in order to try and get him. But it isn't enough. As Hans Sama flashes over, pops him, and does not work. Chrono Break just used there by Caps, but it does not matter. He trades lives with the Echo, and Hans Sama did a lot of work in that fight for his team. And Baron in the pockets of Rogue. Look at the damage out from that vein. 6k. He just out-damaged both Nidalee and Quinn in one fight. That's a big thing to note. And right now, you have to be worried if you're G2. Full build Vayne versus a full build Jhin. But as I say that, the GA was sold by Vayne. Look at the gold that the carries on either team has. 20k plus. With 44 minutes into this game, they're stacked. They can essentially pop each other in 1 or 2 shots. And I'm looking forward to the next fight because it is going to be bloody. Both teams will be looking to pick off either side's carries. G2 has the 2 AD carries, which are going to be popping a lot of damage. But Rogue do have that AP threat in Larssen being an absolute menace to G2 as Body Slam. Gonna stop Caps from doing damage to that turret. He just chrono breaks away, keeps himself alive, and watch Wunder roaming back down to the bot lane. Cause Rogue had to go to the top side to respond to G2's play, Caps and Wunder begin to play. Roaming between lanes, just setting up the push, forcing the response from Rogue. And Larssen go down to the bot side. Meanwhile, mid, look at the damage down onto Inspired from Wunder. Just firing in one shot. That Storm Razor proc does so much work for Wunder here, as it means that he's just able to chunk out a target. Then he gets the second shot off. Third shot is the killer though. Kraken Slayer baby. Just crit hits, does work. Meanwhile, Wunder looking to possibly dive in onto Hansama. Does have the Bloodthirster shield. Gonna only take one shot and then realise, yeah, I don't think diving onto Hansama is too smart. But G2 playing around vision right now. Rel could be possibly caught out. Cass is gonna knock back the Rel into the Vayne, getting himself another kill. 7-4-4 right now for Hansama. But look at the time right now for the big objectives. Elder up in a minute. Baron up in a minute. These are 2 big objectives synced up at the same time for spawns. And to me, which will be fought over? We may see a trade of objectives. Don't think that will be too good if you're Rogue. You're probably going to want to get that Elder Drake fight. That's where we're possibly going to see our next big skirmish between these 2 teams. As that objective cannot go into the hands of either team. That is just a game-winning buff. Meanwhile, G2 coming into the bot side. Wunder soaring down here. Gonna look to catch out Odo. Gonna land 1 shot. 2 shots. There's the 3rd shot. Boom. Gale Force coming in forward. And that is just him dead. Lovely work coming in from G2. Meanwhile, TP coming in from Larssen. Looking to kill off that Gwyn. And they managed to pop him out. Lovely Emperor's Divide. Just means that Wunder cannot get away with his flash. But look how many members Rogue sent up to that top lane play. 3. Odo died as well. So 4 technically in the top half of the map. But Vayne stays mid. She's getting the push. But G2 have control here. Inspired is coming in. The spear though lands. Heal has to be popped immediately by Hansama. But TP coming in from Caps. He's looking to contest this. And that Drake is going to fall. Current Call is going to open. Inspired has to run away. But G2 managed to pick up the Drake for themselves. And that is Elder Drake over to G2. That is a lovely stun. Down goes Trimby. Caps is going to pick that one up for himself. And that is almost certainly Baron to G2. And almost certainly this game is in G2's hands right now. Nothing can be done by Rogue. And they're just gonna give up everything. We didn't see a pretty big fight, but we almost certainly have to see a last stand from Rogue right now. G2 resetting, reloading. They actually managed to get the Baron onto Wunder after his respawn. He doesn't, however, have Elder. So G2 gonna get push in the bot lane. Gonna get push in the top lane. 1-3-1 setup. Caps and Wunder doing work. Gonna be hard for Rogue to actually respond to this because they have no real split pushes for themselves. And Quinn is just walking around the map. He's fully built up here. All 6 items on the Quinn. All 6 items on pretty much everyone except the supports who saved that control ward spot. But look at these shots coming through. Quinn reloading that ultimate. What is Rogue going to do here is Wonder just fires in one shot with that rapid fire cannon. Does a lot of work. Meanwhile, G2 have caught out Hans Sam, are going to be forcing him into that GA state. What can happen is Mickey dives in, helps the Magnet Storm, going to secure the first kill of the fight, and there goes Rogue. They are out of this. They will not beat G2. And with everyone falling on Rogue's side of the map, G2 are going to pick up this match of the week and take down the first place Rogue. That is a huge win for G2, asserting dominance over the league that they won last year, absolutely decimating the upstart team that's gotten better and better every single year. And look at the joy out of G2 as they celebrate a massive win, tying up the standings at the top of the table, making this a very competitive year. And I, for damn sure, am looking forward to the rematch between these two teams in the second half of this split, as this was just a bloody match that was very even until the very end. But that game solidifies a lot between these two lineups. And with that, we end this one here. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.